Start today's. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day 33 of the Breakthrough Challenge. Surely we are headed to 90 because we've already clocked the first month. This week and most of this month, we are speaking about clarity. We started yesterday by defining what clarity really is. And I believe sometimes we don't lose our motivation, we don't lose our focus. We just lose touch with our goals and with our vision because they are not clear. And that's why we are tackling this today. So, yesterday we highlighted some brief elements about the power of clarity. Today, I want us to focus primarily on the domains of clarity. The domains of clarity, that will be our subject for today. So, the domains of clarity. You remember the 6 elements that I have shared before, the 6 elements that constitute the layers of my life, the layers of your life, starting from the S, spiritual, to the I, identity, the first B, beliefs, the C, capabilities, the E, the B, the second B, behavior, and the final C, the E rather, which is the environment. So it's SIBCBE. We can use those as the domains where we begin to apply the principles of clarity. Because the aim is not to just learn about this thing theoretically, but to apply it. The aim is to make it real, to apply these principles of clarity. So we are speaking about the domains of clarity. This last Saturday, we had the breakthrough workshop for goal setting. And one of the areas that we struggled with was the area of making the vision clear by having the endpoint characteristics come out from what you really think you need and what you want. So I wanted to give you, I didn't want to preempt this during that session because then I would literally be curtailing your own thinking about what is it, what ingredient might be drawing you towards the final endpoint. So when I think about the impact, the eventuality, the eventual reality of your personal vision, I think of it as having a possibility of being centered around one core idea. And the core ideas form an acronym that spells life, L-I-F-E, L-I-F-E. When you read your personal vision, after you have written it, when you read it, it's going to connect more with one of these domains, L-I-F-E, life. The L is legacy. The L is the legacy. And your legacy is what are people saying after you're gone? What will be the story? And the story has a whole series of facets. There was the beginning, the middle, the end. That is who the story touched, where the story was enacted, how the story was enacted, what sentiment it left in people's hearts or minds. So it could be that your vision is driven by legacy. Your vision might be driven by the I, and the I is impact. In other words, you're not so focused, intuitively so focused on what people will say about you, but rather what will they say specifically about your impact? What value did you add? What change did you inspire? What became different in your world and in the lives of the people you interacted with because you came around? Impact. I tend to find myself very aligned with impact and driven to thinking about impact, which is why initially it was a bit of a struggle determining whether I'm going to build a business that carries just my name, or do I build an entity that could potentially stand on its own so that I am not at the center. Impact. What is it that the world experienced because of the choices you made and because you came around? The F could be your other driver. The F is freedom. Freedom. Is it the freedom to create whatever you want? Is it the freedom to travel wherever you want? Is it the freedom to serve in whatever industry? Is it the freedom to create new ventures, create new businesses, create new social enterprises? The freedom to learn anything you want, freedom to collaborate wherever. It might be the freedom to be whoever you want. And that might be financial freedom, might be you being an expert at the work you do so that it allows you to express yourself exactly as you want to express yourself. Freedom can mean many things to you, but for some of you, that is what is going to resonate. So that it could be freedom with something else, but the main idea is either legacy or impact or freedom, or the final one, which is energy. Energy. I want to remain vital for as long as I can, so that I can offer this service. That you want to do something, you want to accomplish something, but you want to operate at a high energy. You want to be healthy, you want to be strong, you want to be vibrant. You want to climb a mountain when you are 75 and run a marathon when you are 82. Right? You want to be on your feet for as long as you are around. The day you sit down, people know, oh, he or she is empty. She has poured it all out. I do not know which of those would resonate with you the most. Is it legacy? Is it impact? Is it freedom? Or is it energy? So when you look at your why, your purpose, why you are here, I would like you to look at how you had written it down. And for those who are just watching this for the first time, I have been with this team of people for the last more than 1 month. And so some of the references I make relate to what we've covered before, which will be available on our YouTube channel. When you look at the why you wrote down, your purpose, and look at legacy, impact, freedom, and energy, which of these do you feel connects with it the closest? It might be one, it might be two of them. It's unlikely to be three or four of them. There will be one primary one, maybe a secondary one. Just because I want you to reflect actively, could you please give me some feedback when you think about this? Which of these connects with you more? And I'm going to ask some of you guys who were present during the previous sessions. Judith, between legacy, impact, freedom, and energy, which of that connects with you more?
Impact.
Impact. Yeah, and I remember the vision you wrote, and it connects really, really directly.
So I think when we tried to dig down through the vision I'd written, it came out legacy somehow, but I don't think I really want that is the main reason. I think I need more clarity on it.
So the legacy is what came out about based on how you expressed it on that day, right? But it was legacy, and then on the other side there was analysis, there was changing people's lives, right? So these domains don't stand on their own. Each doesn't stand on their own. In fact, for you, when you read it, the word legacy literally like jumped out. But when you go deeper, perhaps this is the next layer for you. And maybe, who knows, maybe it's the freedom. Maybe for you, it's the freedom to teach research techniques in any university you want in future. Maybe it's the freedom for you to tackle any topic, or even to change from the domain where you are currently involved and go to another domain. But impact was definitely part of when you look at the significant areas that you described thereafter. But remember, this is not a fixed process. You are allowing your mind to think, and for what's inside to come. You are looking for what will fire you and give you the most amount of energy in pursuit of this vision. And I admire that you are up before it's before 5. It's 4:30 your time. You woke up. You are here at 4:30. So we are heading in the right direction. We will continue working on this, Judith.
Okay.
But for now, I hope that by adding this layer, these domains, then you can begin to think more tangibly, because the more tangible a vision is, the Bible says, write it down and make it plain. The more tangible it is, the more powerful it's going to be. Elena?
Freedom is what resonates with me the most, and some aspects of impact.
Yeah, it's almost like a no-brainer for some of you based on what the vision you had. Like, I hope that by discussing this, sort of helps you move closer to clarity. Clarity is an ongoing process. So yes, I see how freedom might resonate with you, Elena, just looking at the goals that you've set before and how you phrased your vision during the workshop on Saturday. James?
For me, I'm not sure which of the two comes out on top, but it's something between impact and freedom.
Yeah, you pick both. You pick both.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, maybe it might be you have the freedom to create the impact you desire. It's not one or the other or only one. It is what resonates with you. And that is where you are today in terms of your clarity. As you go along, it will become even clearer. So that when you write that vision down, somebody reads it and they can say, this gentleman will leave a huge legacy. Or this guy, I think this guy or this lady is going to have major impact if this vision she is pursuing becomes a reality. Brainy?
Good afternoon, everyone. Mine will be impact, freedom, and energy.
Impact, freedom, and energy. Yeah, that's absolutely all right. You work with them and see if any of them pop up above the other, and if all three remain as the central driving ideas, why not? Most of the time, you will find that there's one that stands above the shoulders of the others. You keep working on it. This thing keeps changing the orders. Anne.
Good afternoon. Mine would be impact and legacy.
Impact and legacy, okay? Yeah, so let those be the pillars that help you continue to clarify your vision. Remember, we are speaking about clarity. We haven't heard from Ndungi.
Good day to everyone. For me, I think the primary one will be impact. Yeah, secondary legacy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to call for maybe 2 or 3 of you. Just read out aloud your vision to us. I think I'll start off with Judith. Judith, can you remind us? Just read it as it is right now. It doesn't have to be perfect. It is an ongoing process. Please read it for us.
So I made some few changes, so I'll read as it is now.
Yeah.
So I have influenced people's life through implementation research. And I've done this by continuously learning and using holistic approaches that are people-centered, practical, and feasible.
That is a beautiful vision. Oh, I love where you have gone with that, Judith, because I hear the ingredients that underlie each of those parts. And oh, that is a huge jump you've made. And if it's going to get any better, then I can't even wait to see what that would look like. Yes, Judith, it is impact. It is impact for you. It's that Saturday it came out as legacy, but somehow that wasn't really aligning. The point is, to pick one and work with it, and then eventually you land on the one that really, really resonates. Judith, that is a powerful vision. Remember, we said a vision is the standard by which you will judge your actions, you will measure the progress that you're making. You can look at your behavior, look at your goals, look at how you operate every day, and so that you don't have to wait for the world to tell you whether you're heading in the direction. You have a mirror in front of you, and the mirror is your vision. So Judith, thank you for sharing your vision. I'm going to ask Brainy, just read it as it is right now. We will keep evolving.
Yeah. Mine is, I've lived a very holistic life to be grateful for simple things in life and serve others.
That's amazing. I see why it touches you. You couldn't figure out whether it's legacy, impact, or free or energy. So
No, the thing is, I need energy to impact people. And for me to impact people, I need to have that freedom within myself. So I'm going with it 3.
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
But you say that, and then the word I'm hearing coming from you is impact. You want to impact people, right? You need freedom and you need energy, which means I think for you, impact is at the center, and then it's supported by these others. And for all of us, it will be like that. I mean, if you don't, if we during this 90 days challenge, if you continue waking up every day and the morning determines how you feel, rather than you waking up in the morning and deciding that no matter what happened yesterday, I am going to be at a high level of energy today, you become a victim of your environment. Where what's happening, if there is politics, if there is BBI, if there is elections in the US, it becomes the driver of how you feel, instead of deciding that, okay, here we are, today is the final performance of itself. It won't come back. I am going to be at this level of energy, no matter what happened yesterday. So thank you, Brainy, for sharing that. Elena, read it as it is currently.
I'm having some challenges with the tenses. I don't know if I should be speaking in future or in the past as a 65-year-old. That is my current challenge.
You could have it either way, but we had recommended reading it as though it has been fulfilled, right? So you are 65, you are reading to us the vision that has been fulfilled. So what has happened?
Okay. I lived a memorable life by showing up to be present in my central relationships, adding value through service and practical solutions to those I encounter, planning, exploring, and growing intentionally, being an evolving role model.
Yeah, I like it. You've added some beautiful ingredients in there. You've made it richer. We thank you for sharing it. We continue working, and there's no right or wrong way. The whole point about having a vision is having a source of guidance, a source of security that anchors your actions. So that, remember we said, your choices shouldn't be influenced or shaped by the evolving opportunities around you, because opportunities are flashing around us all the time. Your choices should be powered by your vision. So that if opportunities come your way which look alluring but are not aligned with your personal vision, then you can ignore those opportunities. And you ignore those opportunities because you know where you are going. It's like being at a train station and you see a new train that looks really, really good, but it's going in a different direction. The train is an opportunity. It is ready and it's honking, da-da, it's ready to leave, but it's going to a different direction. So this train won't serve you. You wait for your ragged old train that is going to your destination. You get into that train out of the vision you have about where you are going, not about what opportunities are available. I could tell you so many stories about how I got lost, especially on 2 occasions at train stations somewhere in Europe. I was running, like the bus I was on was running late on one of those occasions. And I arrived at the train station and I hopped onto the train that was in the the platform that I was supposed to go to. I didn't realize that there are 3 trains on that same platform, so I need to walk back to get my train. I hopped onto the wrong train, and suddenly I find myself going in the opposite direction. It actually passed by towards the direct where I lived, yet the direction I was going was the opposite, the other end. So I had to alight and get onto a train on the other side and then come back. By the time I arrived, my train had already left. If you are driven by opportunities around you, you will end up on so many wrong trains. If you're driven by what's available, you will end up on so many wrong trains. So we are clarifying the vision so that our life is not driven by the available opportunities, but by the clarity of the vision that we carry. James, could you please read to us your vision series?
Okay, here's my vision. I lived I lived an impactful life by giving my best to grow myself, to become an invaluable, indispensable resource for both people and companies.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. The next step we will be doing will be to now align the goals you have, which is why I had encouraged you, as you continue writing your goals, please do not be selective about which goals you write, which goals you leave out. If a goal is coming up, there is a resource within you that is originating or stimulating that source, that goal. Write your goals down. So we are going to align your goals, work on creating an alignment, clarity of alignment between the goals and the vision and your purpose, so that then we can figure out what your true high value activities are. The question we answered on Saturday were based in light of my future aspirations, in light of my vision for life, what is the best use of my time, energy, and attention right now? That question helps you figure out what your high value activities are once your vision is clear and your goals are clear. Therefore, your high value activities must support both the vision and your goals. So thank you, James. Ndungi, read to us your vision as it is right now. Had you managed to do any work on your vision?
So yesterday, I think I texted you in the group. I had some problems with the audio file,
Fine.
so
That's okay.
I was looking into the piece today on YouTube. I think you uploaded it today, and I have not yet finished. But for me, if you ask me, I don't know if it's a mission statement, or a mantra, because
Yeah.
all the time this question, only think 2 words come to my mind. I think it's thinking different and making history. So
History.
I don't know how that connects into a vision, or if it is really even a viable vision.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
you continue working on it. You continue working on it. The reality about a vision is it has to be a specific vision. So you and I are like a palm tree. For us to produce fruit, we have to we have to grow somewhere and have deep roots somewhere. Once you have deep roots, then whatever comes, whatever waves come, you can bend in whatever direction, but you have to have roots somewhere. So your vision, the more you work on your vision and start aligning it with your goals, you will figure out which is this one field you need to have roots in. So that the growing roots requires you to be disciplined, requires you to learn, requires you to create a holistic view of yourself that you continue to build. Then eventually you can now exercise the freedom of applying those skills and putting them wherever else. But it sounds like among the four possible descriptors, life, impact, freedom, and energy, you seem to be aligned very strongly with legacy. To think different and to maybe think different might involve the energy in terms of, you know, really authentically thinking differently, but making a difference in it could be impact, it could be legacy. Continue working on it. Wanjiru and Ivy, have you guys been able to review the session we had on Saturday?
Hi, I've not yet. I'm planning to do so today.
That's fine. That's fine. Wanjiru?
Hi, yeah, I did review the session. I can read out my vision, if that's okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. My vision reads like I have lived a full and resourceful life by becoming a solution source, impacting lives and helping others, growing and improving myself every day.
Yeah, I like it. It's clear. There are always more layers of clarity in terms of you know, when it's written down, actually written down. But that's a great place for you to begin. So clarity is the single most important element of any vision we are going to try to implement and any goals we are going to try to achieve. I had shared with you the vision that I am working on right now, and I'm always allowing myself to see what else would emerge. I have lived a meaningful life by doing my best to learn from all my experiences, to grow intentionally and to enrich every life I touch. And my intention is to apply this vision in medicine, which is the field where I am growing my roots and being planted so that it can allow me to branch on into the other fields, but also obviously in communication. And that's what we are doing here, because this is not just a side gig for me. This is something I'm very passionate about. But thankfully, it empowers me with skills that make me even more effective when I'm communicating with colleagues in medicine, communicating with patients. It gives me such a wonderful tool to work with. So learning from all my experiences. And this was particularly difficult because I found that I tend to think very deeply about things that didn't work the way I wanted them to work. I've started to realize that I hardly learn the lessons I need to learn from the things I do which succeed. So that generally when we succeed, we celebrate. It's only when we fail that we ponder. The more I have started reflecting about my successes in the past, the more lessons I'm learning about how to optimize the areas where I am good, the areas where I do not struggle, so that becomes the platform from which I build going forward. Growing intentionally, I borrowed some of what Dr. John C. Maxwell calls his top 5: to read every day, to think every day, to reflect every day, to ask questions every day, and to file thoughts every day. In other words, that is the way he he grows intentionally. And so I expanded those to include, so the reading, I gave myself a goal of what kind of reading speed I want to get to, because I believe reading is one of the places where we waste a lot of time. And that's because we are not effective in how we read, in terms of how quickly we get through the material we need to read, and then also in terms of comprehension. So my challenge is for me to take my reading level beyond what it was in high school and college and what it is right now, to be able to read faster and to be able to retain more. To write every day, I have a goal to churn a couple of books within the next 5 to 7 years. And so I have the outlines. Some of those books, I have the covers pinned on the wall where I can see them. So I have to keep writing something every day. And now I'm not even writing from haphazardly, I'm writing from the experiences I'm having every day. And it shocks me to see how many stories, how many events happen, which illustrate powerful points to me as a person, and which I hope would also be useful to other people when they get to consume this material. To think incisively and creatively every day. And this is where Ndungi and I meet at the table. I want to learn from you, Ndungi. So creating time to specifically think. And I find that I think best by asking questions, which are two separate ingredients for John Maxwell, but for me, they are essentially linked. Of course, reflect every day. And I have a specific one to create content. By creating content, that means from the reflecting I'm doing, from the writing I'm doing, from the reading I'm doing, to outline the ideas that come to me and use those ideas to create content. And of course, to add value every day. And my focus in this season is to make the people I serve feel hopeful and valued. And that applies very strongly to my patients, to help them feel hopeful and for them to feel that I value them, that I serve them in a way that makes them feel valued. And I hope the guys who have been on this journey for the last almost more than 30 days, that you feel some hope arising in you as we continue moving, because that is my aim. It's how I am channeling my personal vision right now. The other ingredient for me is, so learning from all my experiences. It's so reflecting, thinking, pausing specifically to reflect, to think, and to write down those experiences. I take stories that happen around me, incidents that happen, I change the names of the people involved, because it's not the names that I'm interested in, what was the event, what did I feel? That's a very important part of reflection. What did you feel during that event? And possibly, why did you feel like that? And what things meant to you? And if this happened again, so how differently would you approach it in terms of how much better can you do it if you did it well, or how could you turn it around if it didn't go well to make it better? So that's what I'm working with. And so my challenge to you is take your vision. Take your vision and look at the separate ingredients and start listing practical ways, phrase by phrase, from the segments of your vision. So for example, if you want to learn, specify what are your 3 or 4 ways to learn. Because unless those ways become practical, where you can measure them every day, that vision will remain like a big umbrella that you don't have anything tangible to pin to. So take your vision, read it and break it down phrase by phrase, right? So I have lived a meaningful life. What does meaningful life mean for me? And for you, what does a memorable life mean? What does an impactful life mean? What does an adventurous life mean? So you take that phrase and then you outline what things can somebody look at? Remember, we are working as though there's a camera of our life. And that camera is watching everything we do. If somebody was looking into this camera, how would they know that for sure this person is accomplishing this vision? So the first phrase, identify the specifics under that phrase. Second phrase, the specifics under that phrase, so that by the end of it, you have your vision broken down. This is written in a very faint lighting. You have each of those segments broken down, and you can start branching it out if you prefer to use this is like a mind map. If you prefer to use a mind map, you have the vision at the center, and then you branch it out in terms of what are the ingredients that create this whole, and specifically what will be the actions that you can do to implement this part. What actions do you need to do to implement this part? Because we are going to start figuring out what resources do you need to make those things possible. So for example, if you want to become an authority in something, there are people out here who are authorities. And some of them get really excited when they find somebody else who is interested in becoming an authority in that area. If you approach that person for mentorship, usually they would be willing to mentor you. Usually they would, in fact, more than willing to mentor you. So take your vision, break it down phrase by phrase, specify the actions that you need to take under each of those areas, because these actions need to now be transferred to the personal development plan that we had started creating. A lot of this will need to find goals which make it possible for you to pursue these actions. Remember, during the first time we had started off with goals, right? You have goals, you have some clarity. I hope you have been writing your goals every day since we set them. But now we are going a step higher. We are going all the way to the source, to your purpose and to your vision. And your vision gives you the actions that are required. These actions must find a home in the goals you have. And that is how we start aligning your goals and your vision together so that you generate high value activities. The activities you know that every day, if by 65, this vision is going to be true, then I have to do this. And that for me, from today is 8,384 days. I know I keep that intact because I know it is a reality. Yesterday it was 85 days. That one day is gone, and I will never see it again. Never see it again. Today is here. I will never see it again. It's now 17 minutes past 4. I hope the segment we have discussed right now adds some level of clarity to what you need to do to make your vision a reality. Please remember, we are not doing a theoretical series of lectures. If by the end of this month, you and I don't have a clear vision, a clear set of goals refined from what we had started from, and very specific list of high value activities, the 5 or 6 or 7 things that we do every day, every single day to make the vision a reality, and that we have started doing that every single day, then we are not moving in the direction that we need to, or we are not even moving at the speed that we need to move. And so with regards to today's lesson on clarity, about the domains of clarity, using the four ingredients: legacy, that's from life, legacy, impact, freedom, and energy, using them to figure out which of those aligns most with you, taking your vision, breaking it down phrase by phrase, identifying the specific actions. I hope that by doing this discussion and this procedure that you feel like you are moving a step forward. And now we are going to have a quick reflection. What's your takeaway from today's session? And we'll start off with Wenjiro.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to break down my vision. I'm going to reflect about it more, and I'll make it more clear. And also, I will also try to align it to my purpose and the goals that I have for the everyday goals that I have set.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wanjiru. Judith?
So from today's session, I think I clearly understand like how my vision relates to the impact domain, and I'll break it down and write the steps to achieving the vision.
Thank you, Judith. Dungi?
Yeah.
Today for me was eye-opening. So today, as you were talking, I was reflecting on the breaking down your vision. So for me, for now, my vision is thinking different and making history, which aligns to a goal of mine that is to become a futuristic thinker. So as I was reflecting, to become a futuristic thinker entails seeking diverse perspectives and being a problem solver and an opportunity creator. But in our everyday world, some things that inhibit our creativity are these screens that we use every day, and maybe our phones, our news, and what. So for me, I decided about a week ago for me to maintain that safe space in my mind for creativity. Normally people wake up every day and you wake up, alarm goes off, you're everywhere, scampering for things and rushing to get out and meet your deadlines. For me, I decided to, I'll be waking up on my more reflective and thoughtful side so that when I wake up, I'm in control of my day. And so I ask my questions, I ask these questions to myself. So today, who do I want to be today? What am I feeling today? How will this influence my day? So I think that aligns more with my vision and I think mastering my own or and knowing where I want to go. Yeah.
Wow, you just shared an idea that all of us can adopt to wake up intentionally and start the day off by thinking about how we want the day to turn out. Dungi, we are heading somewhere great. Thank you for sharing that. Brenny?
Thank you for this opportunity. I'm not going to talk particularly about today's reflection, but just my general overview about what you've been learning about this session. Because to me, it's been a hands down session. And I would have paid so much to get such information, but I'm so grateful. And I've also realized for the last 5 days, I've been doing things like intentionally. I mean, being present in whatever I'm doing. If I'm doing dishes, because sometimes I might be doing dishes, but then my mind is thinking about, like, oh, you haven't cleaned up. So I'm doing dishes, but I'm also thinking of doing something else. But for the last 4 days, I've been finding myself, if I'm doing dishes, I'll just put my mind over there and enjoy that moment. Waking up every morning, I'll wake up, set the tone for the day. How do I want to feel about this day? And then about what you just taught us today about life, it has really helped me to really think of my vision. Like when I talk about I've lived a holistic lifestyle, what kind of emotion does it evoke, or what will people learn from that, and how is my daily routine going to look like? So I think I'm not I think I feel like I'm just going to work on that and narrow down about the holistic lifestyle, being grateful, serving others. What does that mean to me? So thank you, I appreciate that.
Thank you, Brainy. That's a very substantive reflection. I won't even add anything else. Thank you very much. Elena?
My takeaway from today's session.
Lena, I think your microphone is really far away.
My takeaway from today's session is mainly about the what can I say? Can somebody go ahead? I don't think I have the words to explain, but
okay. That's fine. Let's have James as you get ready. James.
Well, I think today's session was it was a really impactful session. It's allowing me to appreciate more the concepts that we covered yesterday, and things like vision. Okay, for example, vision no longer seems like a foreign concept to me. It's not something that's being introduced out of nowhere. It's something that now I am getting to understand that I can put myself in the middle of by breaking down those different phrases so that they're not just words, so that they're converted into actions that I can perform every single day in furtherance of my goals. For example, that if they are broken down and eventually they break down so well that they become my daily goals that I want to achieve over the next 1 year, I think that will really be something good. And so what I'm currently working on is building the discipline and the consistency to do the things I said I'm going to do, whether or not I feel like doing them. So yes, that's what I have to share.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, it's what you've just defined there is a self-discipline, the ability to do what you said you will do, even when the emotion in which you said it has gone, right? And doing it whether or not you feel like doing it. So thank you, James. We haven't heard from Ivy.
Just gathering up from today's session, what I've learned is it's always good to have a clear vision. That one will make you to have a strong focus, and also it will make you to be more consistent and intentional in what you're doing.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ivy. 10.
Thank you. I think I shared my reflection earlier.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Berlin.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Are you in a matatu or are you the one playing?
I am in a matatu, and I think I've joined towards the end.
Yeah.
But I've joined. I've had enough to at least know what has been covered.
Yeah.
And I think from what covering from what from yesterday's session and today,
yeah,
I think I want to work on clearing up my life. I've already started. I started with my phone, got rid of all social media, and now I want to proceed to other facets of my life, and so that while I'm working on my goals, I have cleared the road and there's no noise.
Yeah. Thank you, Berlin, for still sharing, even if you are in a matatu. We at least we've been able to hear what you had. Elena, are you ready to wind up your part?
Yes, I'm ready. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Are you using a laptop or a phone?
It's a laptop.
Okay.
Yeah, I always have the same problem with this when I use this laptop. But
that's okay. That's fine.
Yeah. So my takeaway from today's session is that the main ingredients, like there's always an underlying thing towards your vision. That is what has resounded to me today. I never thought about it in that aspect, but how freedom has connected to my vision and my goals is, it's a new thing for me, and I'm glad to have uncovered that.
Yeah, so your voice fluctuated a little, but I've gotten the overall impression of what you are sharing. That I think for all of us, it is extremely important For you to see the connection between your purpose and vision and your goals and how the day you get them aligned, it has to impact your everyday. So that your goals, most of the time, your goals are shaped by your opportunities, right? Most of the time, your goals are shaped by your opportunities. But once you have your goals and you have the clear vision, you bring the goals to your vision, and there are some goals that don't fit. The goals that don't fit, you may not necessarily have to drop them, but they go lower, so that the goals which are directly contributing to your vision, they rank higher than any other goals. And the goals that are directly contributing to your vision, they become the primary source of your high value activities. So that every day you are implementing, you're not implementing according to your environment. You're not implementing according to your opportunities. You're implementing according to your core vision, the direction you want to go in, so that that becomes the driver. And that is what organizations do. We do this for companies all the time. But the question is, do we do it for ourselves? Do we have an alignment where when we are hiring, when we are having a coffee, when we are having a road trip, what purpose is it serving? Are we just having another road trip for the sake? Are we having it because we want to have fun, which is something that we have made valuable? That's how we get empowered to use our TEA, our time, energy, and attention deliberately, but most importantly, meaningfully in terms of contributing to the direction we want to go in. We said that activities are of two types. When you have a set of bricks before you, one type of activity is to move the bricks around. Another set of activities is to stack the bricks one atop another, so that when you come the following day, if you just move the bricks around, the bricks are still on the ground. You felt accomplished by moving the bricks around, but they're still on the ground. But if you engaged in activity type 2, where you stacked the bricks on top of another, you are starting from a higher level because you are creating a wall, or you're creating a boulder, or you're creating a staircase because you have stacked the bricks on top of another, where the next activity benefits from the activities that you've already performed before. Otherwise, you can just continue moving the bricks around, so that every day you come back, the bricks they have moved in position, but they are still on the ground. There is no rising, there is no growing. And yet what you and I need is for every day to add on to the other, so that tomorrow doesn't have to start from zero. Tomorrow finds that we had laid the first and second layer. Now we are laying the third and fourth, maybe the fifth. And that way, incrementally, though initially the impact is invisible, we know without a doubt that this impact, this legacy, this freedom, this energy is building on top of each other. So that will be it for today. This is the second day when we are speaking about clarity, and we have 5 more days. We'll be here every day, 5 more days to speak about clarity as a foundation. After speaking about clarity, we will move to what I call necessity. A necessity is bringing your purpose, your why, to the center. Clarity, we are looking primarily at vision this week. Clarifying your vision to the point where it is so practical, where you can have a whole little book that carries that vision, so that you are doing what the Bible says, write down the vision and make it plain. We will still be dealing with clarity until the end of the week, but the subsequent week, we'll be speaking about necessity. I will give you an example right now. Judith is in the US in East Coast. She was up at 4:30. She was up at 4:30 because there is necessity. And that necessity is because she's committed to build the vision, but having the vision is not enough. You have to find a source that pulls you to the future and causes you to take the actions you need. And that's what we will be dealing with next week, as long as we make substantive progress this week with clarifying the vision, the direction we want to go in, the goals that are important, and get the high value activities that we must start implementing every single day. So that will be it for today. My name is Dr. Job Mogire from the House of Mastery. I wish you an amazing day. Continue working on your vision and making it clear.